This strategy is caveman simple and it will blow up your arms. I'm going to spend just a second setting the scene while I play this warm-up footage. I've worked out to be healthy and strong for many years, but something that always frustrated me was the fact that I seemingly just couldn't get my arms to grow. Even though I was working out relatively hard, it seemed like my arms were just stuck at a circumference of about 14 inches, and that kind of changed for me recently. I started paying attention to the advice of natural bodybuilders on YouTube. These days they're known as the Noble Natties. And their advice kind of lit a fire inside of me again to really give it my all at growing my arms. And so I made myself a really simple plan loosely based around this advice, and it very quickly blew up my arms from 14 to 15 inches. And that got me thinking. I would love to share a few of the lessons I've learned, and as I try to start graduating from 15 to 16 inches, I'd like to document that journey, starting right at the 15-inch measurement mark. So this will be a series, but today I'm discussing the real philosophy behind the training and how my arm day works, which is actually a great segue to my opener. I absolutely recommend an arm day. When I first started lifting, I was actually smarter about this, and I think a lot of us were at the very beginning of our fitness journey because we saw people with big arms and we wanted big arms. I clearly remember getting my hands on weights and always doing curls and different tricep things I found on YouTube and just going hard and trying to up the weight. And that's all I really cared about. I wasn't doing compound movements, I wasn't doing legs. It was arms, arms, arms. And as I quote unquote matured in the gym, I started to use this stupid term accessories. I was a refined Renaissance man doing the squat and the bench, and things like curls and tricep extensions were now accessories to me. That's where I went wrong. I went from trying to kind of hit PRs and up the weights to just trying to use the same weight week after week to get a nasty pump. This slowed my progress way down. I have since reverted back to a strategy of pushing myself as hard as I can go and trying to up the weight when it feels appropriate. This strategy change has made all the difference. It literally quadrupled my progress. Honestly, I now firmly believe that even if you're using a little bit of body English to force out those last few reps, you're gonna get way better results than just perfectly hitting clean form with medium to light weights that don't really challenge you and just getting a cool pump. So yeah, arms respond to volume, but what they really seem to respond to is effort. You really want to be fighting a battle against failure on every set you do. Like here with overhead extensions, I like to get to the point where I cannot do another clean rep and then do some ridiculous garbage looking partials, because I would far rather do that than leave anything in the tank. It has made a huge difference, and it's the first thing that's ever really grown my triceps in years. And that's another thing I can touch on is my exercise selection. I am kind of a caveman, so I built my plan around that. I selected one exercise to primarily use for each part of my arm. This has made it way simpler for me to be able to just get in the gym and attack the weights without overthinking what I'm doing. It also gives me the opportunity to every single week try to do better on those lifts, whether it's squeaking out another rep or hopefully setting a new PR with the weight I use. So the four current exercises that I rely on are hammer curls, easy bar curls, tricep cable pushdowns, and tricep overhead cable extensions. And I'm primarily going to rely on those four exercises as long as I can get away with, because it has been working very well so far. As for the sets and reps, I mainly just try to push myself as close to failure, preferably to failure. Generally, I shoot for somewhere between 8 and 12 reps, and I generally only do 2 sets, maybe 3, which may seem like low volume, but when you're pushing every set to that endpoint, it really is pretty adequate. Like, I've been doing this for a little while now, and sometimes my triceps will still be, like, very sore the next couple days afterwards. So that's some of the stuff I've learned and a few of the nuggets of wisdom I can share for this episode. Select a few exercises, even if they're not perfect, and go to war with them. The guy who's like shaking and winded after his set of barbell curls is going to get way further than the guy who got a nice pump.